Simon and I are working on the Hell collection pieces. It's about the hell we go through to succeed and what it really means to be able to, you know, take ourselves down to the lowest ebbs of life to get what we want. And that's what the desire is of the person who's buying this, a very successful guy in London who said, yep, I'm interested, you've sold me on calling it Hell. We're just trying out a new process of the framing because they've said to me they wanted it gilded to a really high standard. And the high standard person in this room is Simon. So Simon is putting together the frame, he's going to gild the frame, we're going to make it really shiny, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. No glazing on this piece, and we're just going to show the build-up of all of the textures on this piece itself. Oh yeah, get your plank out.
I'll get the plank out. So, here at Art Graphics, we do work with a wood mill, but we also have the wonderful ability to make profiles in-house. And that's key at times like this when we're working. We don't know what we're trying to achieve until we start working with the wood. This wood that we've chosen is tulip wood because it's very stable, low emissions wood. We build the stretchers out of it that Lincoln paints on, puts his linen on, and it suits our purposes for the frame as well. It's designed never to be seen as a wood, it's just a carrier for the processes that come later. Like every other picture framer, we join four corners, but it's how we do it that makes the difference and the longevity of the frame and adds the quality Lincoln's looking for. We call this splining, where we cut the frame and then we cut these deep slots into the wood, and then it's joined with these, we call them keys. These get inserted into the frame deeply and they're glued into place, and it makes a very, very secure corner that never ever will move. So here we have the frame for the piece that you saw, which is far from its finished state. But what you have, this is a very ancient process. 10 coats of this porcelain-like finish, which is called gesso. It's basically marble dust that's mixed with a binder and applied in thin coats and then polished to a fine finish. Then on top of that, we add this product, which is, these are, that you see here, this is called a bowl, B-O-L-H, which is a very fine, very, very fine clay. It comes in various colours depending on what you're trying to achieve. In this case, we've got the yellow, which is the base coat for the gold leaf, and then we're going to have the Fontenay red, the red clay from a French mine, which will be put as a thin layer on top, and that will give the gold leaf that we use is quite thin, it's very thin, almost transparently thin. And so when the leaf is laid onto the clay, the colour of the red will glow through the leaf. And Lincoln's requested on these, you could choose with water gilding to have a matte finish to the leaf, but we're going for a rather striking, it's called burnishing, a very bright gold, a very strong gold, a shiny finish. And we do that by, in the old days, as I say, this is an ancient process. In the old days, that would be done with a wolf's tooth, or they call it a dog's tooth, and they would rub at the finish. The gesso is very hard, and these bowl coats are very soft. And when you burnish with we now don't use teeth, we use agate tools, which is a polished stone. And when you rub it gently over the surface, it brings it to a pure luster that you can only get with water gilding. So it's the very finest of frames.
And is the gold leaf, is there any gold in the gold leaf?
It's 24 karat gold leaf.
It better be.
It's pure beaten gold, it absolutely is the finest. So. You choose the carat based on the colour of the gold that you finally want in your frame. We've got a very rich red gold, which complements the works. There's a lot of red in this set of work, isn't there? There's red through all of them, which is why we're having the red clay, we're having a very warm gold, and we're burnishing to a bright finish. Because the frames have to compete with some very strong images. This process is as ancient as it comes. You could go back 600 years and you would find people in workshops in Italy doing precisely this process. It's unchanged. which is part of its charm, I think. So here we have the yellow clay, which is going to be the majority of the surface. Once the gold's on, you won't see this. It will just give a tone to the gold leaf underneath. But here we've got the red clay, which you've perhaps seen gilding, where you see the line breaks in the leaf, and this red helps make those pronounced. So I'll just put a little on so you can see how it goes on. We're not looking for a completely even surface. I'll be leaving mostly yellow. This is just a contrast stroke. But it goes on very well, very translucent. You just need to make sure you don't go over the same spot once it's dried, because it'll just lift off. Oops. It'll ultimately be polished. The finish you achieve with the clay is the finish that the final gold will, the luster of the final gold.